after 1 week of waiting. It's finally here. It arrived. And I'm so happy that I can finally play Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and wow, was it hard to watch all those people on my Twitter feed play it and share screenshots, and now I can do that too. So feel free to follow me on my social media on Instagram and especially Twitter at CommanderNici, just like my channel name. And yes, so hello ladies, gentlemen, everything in between and neither. Today I want to talk about, yes, you've guessed it, Mass Effect. And especially about like small or big things that I just can't stop thinking about. Because either it's just such a brilliant concept, or because the universe is so amazing that I just go out and think about stuff that, hey, I wonder how, whatever. So, let's get into the video. What does touching a gift feel like? Like, is it kinda metal, rubber, plastic? Is it some kind of tactile feel unknown to me? What does a Quarian suit feel like? Is it soft? Is it fabric? Is it plastic? Is it something else? What does a Turian's skin feel like? What about Krogan? Does the Citadel smell like something? How about the Normandy or the flotilla? Are they too clean? Or is there a specific smell you could sort to the spaces you're at? Assuming you don't have to wear a helmet there. What does Winkle taste like? Does it taste like something, or is it just overpowered with this sharp alcoholic taste? Do you ever think about the fact that even with all the advanced technology, there's still a need for pilots? Like, I guess you can't calculate recklessness and bravery, and that's amazing. Can you feel the acceleration in the ships? I mean, the shuttles have the option to turn it on and off. But like, if a ride gets real bumpy, do you feel that, or does it get absorbed by Mass Effect fields and the likes? Do you think homophobia is still around? I mean, I hope not. Especially like with the Asari, who can mate with anyone and bring up offspring. Like, that should be a valid reason to say, wow, okay, one of the homophobes' arguments is invalid now. What about interspecies racism? Like, does the time Mass Effect takes place in still need a Black Lives Matter movement, or has that been overruled by other kinds of racism? For example, against aliens. Damn. What was going through Shepard's mind when they were floating through space in Mass Effect 2? Was it pure panic at dying alone, fighting for a few last breaths in a cold, dark, empty vacuum of space? Or did they think about how the galaxy is at more risk now, from the Reapers and other dangers that only Shepard and the crew knows how to handle? Remember that bit when in Mass Effect 3 and you say goodbye to Garrus? how he talks about that he isn't sure if humans and Tyrians share the same afterlife, but if they do, they should meet at a bar. And now here comes my favorite fan theory into play. You know what happens in the Citadel DLC. Think about it. I'll just say 3 words. Blue Rose of Ilium. Those were 4. But it makes me sad. Has any one of you ever heard of that fan theory that Garrus, when you're recruiting him in Mass Effect 2 on Omega, probably thought he was hallucinating Shepard? Like him being all sleep deprived from fighting off all those mercenaries, and suddenly he sees Shepard in his lens. That must have been hard. Or how about in Mass Effect 3, if and when Shepard brings peace between Quarians and Geth, and Tali finally answers Legion's question? Well, yes. Shortly before he sacrifices himself. How exactly should I imagine an Omni tool working? Like, you know what I mean, because they are like all holographic, and where does the hologram come from? Is it an implant or like a wristband? How do Omni tools work exactly? Are there still spots around? If yes, which ones? And not to sound horny, but what do the aliens look like without their armor or any other kind of clothing? Like, if we can believe the shape of water, and you know how similar the fishman looks to the Drell, well, we certainly know how they function. What about Solarians? Like, they have this weird chest thing on their armor and on I don't know, basically just on their armor, and you can't tell what the Solarian council member looks like under this robe, but is that just a purely aesthetic choice that every Solarian makes? Like, is it some kind of security handle to pull them away from danger, since they are so short-lived? Like, oh my god, we have to protect them? Or is it an anatomical thing, like also an emergency grab to secure the younglings from certain danger, again, because they are so short-lived? Why do they have that? Is that just a clothing choice? Or is that anatomy? We know Krogans have 4 balls, but again, like, what's under that thick armor? We can guess. Turians? Like, what's with them? And again, I wonder, what does it feel like to touch a Turian? Solarians? What does touching a Solarian feel like? Is it like touching a lizard? Or a frog? They are amphibians, right? So it would be like touching a frog. Yes, I'm getting back to the touching the aliens. I'm probably sounding horny right now, but I'm not. It's just biological interest. Which diseases have been completely erased because of medical advancements? What does mind melding with an Asari feel like? Wow, that were a lot of questions and thoughts. comment down below. Maybe you have more questions. Maybe you have answers to my questions, theories, but preferably answers that are actually found in lore text. So comment those down below, leave a like if you enjoyed this, subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to follow me on my social media on Instagram and Twitter at CommanderNici, just like my channel name. And until I figured out what I can upload next, watch my other stuff. Bye.